Well, hello everybody. I have just sat down. I've got a ordinary cup of tea, if there is such a thing. Waitrose Essentials, the cheaper one. Perfectly fine. So, I did ask the other day whether you mind me showing you the things that I get free. Because I didn't want to make people think that I'm making it up, because sometimes I can't believe it. And also, I don't want any judgment really of things that I get and what I do with it. You know, sometimes I feel as though I've got to explain myself. Well, I'll explain myself if I think there's something being thrown away, or I've got an opportunity to get something, I will get it. Sometimes I keep it, sometimes I share it, sometimes it'll go back to another charity shop that gets a better price for things and seems to know what's worth keeping. So, that being said, what did I end up with? Well, about 10 of these. I've got this size, and it's called Natural. So the beautiful binders. I'll just show you inside. How lovely is this? So nice. I've popped a few cards in already because it's for either photographs, postcards, or little snippets that you want to save, tickets that you might want to save, any ephemera that is interesting to you, or it might even be little bits of card that's got a recipe on. Like this one here has got a recipe on for scones that a friend gave me a few years ago, and that is from the WI that she was in. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you, but they don't seem to be big enough for some of the cards. I've noticed some of the postcards have got much bigger these days, but I think I've got about 10 of these. This is the larger one with a beautiful leaf on the front. I mean, you could turn them into journals or anything. So I'm so grateful, and I will be keeping those. Here's the other one, look. And if you can see this, it's by the same company. It's got a few little beads in, a heart and a leaf. It almost looks like a bay leaf. So isn't that lovely? And I've got a few things in this as well, a few cards. But I'll put all sorts in some of the others. And as you can see, those cards just fit in. You know, so some of my bigger ones I couldn't fit in there. But amazing what you can find that's being thrown away. So that's that. The stone came, the date stone, from 16 something. It's outside, I can't quite see it. That we thought belonged to the family. Well, there's been a twist in the tale, because it doesn't actually belong to the family. It belonged to a family whose surname was Woolley. So that was a slight disappointment, but I soon picked myself back up, because I thought if that stone had have been left, it would have just gone into a rubble pile and probably be broken up or used with the rest of the stone. It was a small cottage at a place called Clay Cross in Derbyshire. My father-in-law was going past. He comes from Clay Cross, or he lived there most of his life before he was married. And he remembered one of his relatives living in this cottage. So he presumed, with it having a similar surname, you know, starting with the same letter, that it was theirs, you know, because he knew that some of his ancestors had lived there, and it fitted in, you know, with the initials and everything. But life does take you on these little journeys, doesn't it? But I'm just so grateful that that date stone has been saved. So the story goes that it was being knocked down, demolished, and he saw the stone, and he said, you know, one of my relatives lived here. What would you be doing with the date stone? And they said, well, if, you know, one of your relatives lived here, which they did, you can have it, you know, you should have it, really. So that's how we ended up with it. And I think he had it for years before he passed away, you know, and he's been passed away a few years now. So it's, to me, it's just nice that we've got it, because it is a piece of history, and it's a bit of a story behind it anyway. My husband did come home with that from his brother, his older brother, and he also came home with a slate-based clock, and it weighs absolute ton, it really does. It's a mantle clock, or one that you'd put on a sideboard. I've got it in the porch at the moment. I just cleared the deck so that it could be put there, because my husband's got to look at it first, because you don't, proper old clocks, when they're in transit, moving from one place to another, you usually always remove the pendulum, because it can snap the spring. So that's what my husband did. He removed the pendulum, and he will put that back when he's got some time. I've been out in the garden today. I've been cutting things back, just to make sure that the plants weren't overruled by the stronger plants, if you know what I mean. So that's what I've been doing, and I've filled my garden waste bin up to the top, because we pay extra for that, and I'm certainly going to get my money's worth. You know me. So I always try and fill it right up to the top with things that I cut down in the garden. We do have compost heaps, but some of these things, take for example, beech leaves. If you have ever had a beech tree, you will know that they take decades for the leaves to start to break down in a natural way, without putting any chemicals or anything on them, which we never would do. I mean, we've lived here for 40 years next year, and we've never used chemicals in the garden. If there's something that there's a plague of black fly or white fly, sometimes if it's very bad, I'll wash some of them off with water. Whether it does anything, I don't know, but to me, that's nature. Some years you'll have hardly any black flies, and very often it depends what plants you put in the garden. I mean, it's been puthering with whitefly in our garden because it's been so dry, and I think majority of it's come off of the beech tree, because it's been very sticky everywhere as well. But it's just part of nature, and I try never to battle with her, because she'll get you in the end, like she has done. The people that have put slug pellets down and other poisons that they use for killing things. Some of the things are quite easy to pull up if they cause you a problem, rather than squirting it with toxic items. I mean, I said to my husband, you can see fields that have had herbicides put on them, or whatever they do, and they seem to go yellow. And I said, you know, so they've put poison on the field, and then they're going to grow a crop in it, and then it's going to go in people's bodies, and then we're going to wonder why we've got problems. Anyway, I'm really going off. I'm really going off on one, aren't I? I try not to be too opinionated about things, but nature is one thing that it's like red rag to a bull with me. I think it should be left alone as much as you can do. You know, live and let live. Anyway, so the clock. It does look beautiful, and I'm grateful that we've got it. We've not got room for it really, but I'll make room, won't I? So, going back to the story, my husband's busy at the moment because he's cutting some trees back to let some light into a garden that's been overrun by trees, and he's being paid in wood. Also, my son's done a favour for one of his friends, and his friend has given us hundreds of paving blocks. I don't know what we're going to use them for, but I'm sure we'll find some use for them, you know, or somebody will. And I've also, it's just, this is great, this is bartering, I love it. No money has to change hands. A friend of my husband's, the man who told us about the dresser that I've got in the tea room, the beautiful dresser, that was free. Well, he knows that I like to make things, you know, needlecraft wise and craft wise, and he actually does house clearances now and again if he's got the chance to, and he's quite a character. You know, I like his character, it's lovely. Well, he said to my husband, if my husband fills a bag up, probably one of the Bag for Lives, with wood in exchange for a load of buttons. So I don't know what's coming, so watch this space. It's so funny, isn't it? I find it absolutely hilarious. I just think, you know, what's coming round the corner next? I just hope, touch wood, that it's always good things, because we have enough bad things, don't we? Anyway, I've waffled on. I've noticed my subscribers are going to a level at the moment. I'd love it to get even more, because we've all got egos, haven't we? So there we are. But on the other side of me, the angel side of me, because this is the devil on this shoulder, I'm pleased with my subscribers, because I don't know whether everybody else gets subscribers like I do, but I think you're all blooming lovely. I really do. Right, anyway, I'm going now. Enough of my waffle. Bye.